So in this video, we'll be showing you how to enable icons and also interact with them. So the first thing you will want to do is call the SDK method self-control.enable layer interactivity, and we'll use the icons layer. So now you would go to your detected tab on element, and instead of looking for shapes, you would then look for the icons. So we let icon equals the element as JMap icon view. So if this is true, and I'll go into here, we can get the waypoint ID or the waypoint object associated to this icon. So let waypoint get self.control current map waypoints, and then get by ID. So then now we can pass in the icon.waypoint ID into that, and you should successfully get a waypoint object. So now we would have to add in some code to determine whether this icon is a path type or an amenity. So what we would do is create a variable called path type, which takes the class of JMap path type, and then we'll check if let path type ID dot icon dot path type ID, then we'll assign it back to the path type itself, and then we'll get by ID, pass in the path type ID. So the icon will only contain either a path type ID or an amenity ID. It will never return both. So this is a way you can check to see which one has been selected. So we'll do the same for the amenity. So if let amenity ID, check if icon.amenity ID exists. If it does, then we'll do the same thing, control active venue, amenities, and then we'll get by ID, and we'll pass in the amenity ID. So now either the path type or the amenity object will contain a non-null value. So you have to cast these as ints, and you also have to cast the waypoint ID as int as well. So now we would fix it, add an exclamation mark. So here you would then create some stylings for it. So in the icons, we typically have a background, middle ground, and foreground. So let's define the background styling first. Background style is JMap style, and let's make that blue. And then now we can also define the middle ground style. We can define this as a different color, so then we know that each layer is different. And then we'll set the fill for the middle ground style to be green, and then lastly the foreground style, which is also a JMap style. Initialize it, set fill, and then let's make that red. So we would then have to construct a JMap icon style object with those three stylings. So let icon style be a JMap icon style, and then this style takes in a foreground style, middle ground style, and a background style. So now we can actually apply this icon style to the icon itself. But first, let's check whether the path type or the amenity is tapped. So an easy way to do this is to check if both the path type object exists and the waypoint object exists, so we know exactly which icon we tapped on. So we would check path type is not null, and waypoint is also not null. in this scenario, then we would want to style the path type. We would actually want to use the one that has the waypoint association as well. So style path type, we would pass in the path type object, pass in the waypoint object, and finally pass in the style. So icon style. So then else if, we would check the same thing for amenity. So amenity object is not null, and also waypoint is not null. Then we would want to call control.style amenity with the waypoint and styling. So pass in amenity object, waypoint object, and finally this icon style. So right here, we'd have to add the exclamation mark to ensure that all of these exist at this point. And last one, the icon style. So now we can try running it. And in the simulator, you can try interacting with the icons. So now you can see there are actually no icons here. That's because we haven't called the SDK method to actually show the icons. So now what we want to do is call show icons, which is in control.show all amenities, and we would want to do the same for path types. Show all path types here. And then we can run it again. And this time we should be able to see some icons on the map. So now you see some parking icons, some washrooms, admin icon, and if you click on it, it would apply the appropriate styling that you've just defined. And this is how you interact with icons on the map.